Okay, so here we go. So I had been whining for the past week about seniors not be able to vote during this election. I emailed Paul Harpel from Election New Brunswick 3 times. I emailed the head one. I don't know her name. Emailed her this morning. No answer. I don't know what's going on. Just saying that people in the special care home and the old folks home, whatever, because of Corona, they're making it difficult. So this morning I seen the premier or the leader of the PC party, and I asked him about it, and I was surprised during the media scrum, and everybody was just quiet, and I had the mask on. It was so funny. And he called Carlin, come to me and say, "Excuse me, are you media?" And I look at her, I said, "Media." She, "Oh my God, Charles." She didn't recognize me with the mask every day. So I was allowed a question. So I asked Higgs about this issue, and he said, no, everybody should have the right to vote. I did a follow-up, and he said, I said, will you ask your staff to contact Election New Brunswick about this issue? And he said, yes, we will. So all that's not bad. I got the former premier or whatever, and now I got Mr. Coon right online here. Let's see what he's going to say. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I hate doing these. I like better when I ambush you on the street.
Right. So it's more like regular journalism.
A regular, we can't have that. By the way, speaking of that, how did the debate go last night?
I don't know well.
Did you ever seen a leader in a debate go after the moderator?
Go after? No. Forgot about that. That's right. No, I never did.
So what was that all about? What does that say? What does that say about someone that does a stunt like that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was a bizarre moment in the debate.
And he wants to be premier. Okay, never mind that. So you got a concern about citizen in special care home, old folks home, they're not allowed to, that they can't vote?
Well, another example of the problems with having an election during the public health emergency with the coronavirus. That the process, because they're not allowed to take the ballot boxes into the nursing homes, for example, or even into seniors' residences, special care homes. So the process is complicated. If you want to do a mail-in ballot, well, you can't. There's no time. Do it all by Canada Post. So you have to get someone to go pick up your application, request a mail-in ballot, take it back to the returning office, and then they can bring your ballot back to your house or where you live and fill out your ballot. Then the person take it back to the returning office, or you put it in the mail. So putting it in the mail at this point probably too late. So it's complicated. The only other thing is, I guess there's this curbside voting that's available. Not quite sure how that's going to work, but anyways, I guess in a way, they bring a ballot box to the curb outside the building. Those people who are mobile enough to get outside the building can go vote it there, sounds like.
Are they going to do that in every old folks home?
I don't know. I think it has to be by request.
By request?
I understand that it's available, but it has to be by request, yeah.
What's the big secret? I've been trying to contact Paul Harpel, and he wouldn't reply to his email. Or what's the big secret? What is Election New Brunswick trying to hide here?
Well, I don't think they try to hide anything, but I'm sure they're not feeling very good about how difficult it is for some people to vote, especially seniors, and the difficulty some people with handicaps having getting into the returning office to cast their ballot.
I wish it would have been anybody else but Randy.
I know.
Don't answer that, but anybody that would have been different.
Yeah, well, this is what happens in a snap election. Everything has to be done very quickly, and for years now we've been used to a fixed election date. So, from 4 years out when the next election is going to be. So in a minority government with the Premier deciding to call an election after not even 2 years, then there you go. That's what we have.
If you're denying people from voting, could this election be called a fraud?
No, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that because of the difficulties in voting, it's not as easy as before. There's no polling stations in the universities or colleges either. That there will be a lower voter turnout. Fewer people will vote, and that's never a good thing for democracy.
No, I asked Higgs that this morning. I said, you go around, I predict only 45% of the citizens are going to vote. And can he go around and call himself premier? And then he said, well, like you said, it's a democracy. That's how it works.
Well, it's going to be a lower turnout. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. That won't be good. And on top of it, this is the first week coming up that children are going back to school. The parents are going to completely focused on that and stressed out, as are the teachers, about how it's all going to work and what happens if someone tests positive in the school. And so their attention is focused completely on their children, as it should be. And the same with the teachers, trying to get things sorted out. We've got a lot of teachers and a lot of parents in this province who are not going to be paying attention to this election in this final week.
Yeah. And plus, usually people gather this weekend and decide what they're going to do, but they're not supposed to be gathering because of Corona.
Right.
So do
anyway, it's all a consequence of running an election in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah. So, who do you really blame for this? Do you blame Corona? Do you blame election New Brunswick? Or do you blame Blaine Higgs? That should have just kept on going.
In terms of what election New Brunswick is doing, it's partly Corona, but I don't see that there's any excuse for not having fully accessible returning offices, because that should be one of the key criteria when they're lining up the buildings that they're going to use.
Yeah, I mean, they jumped on the issue of handicap ramp, no problem. But when it came to the issue, nobody's talking about it. I asked Higgs during the media scrum, and then when it was all done, I mentioned it to Jacques Pertois a couple of days ago, and he said, well, I'll tell my boss about it.
Breaking up a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, then I asked him, I said, I told my boss, I'll tell my boss, Jacques Pertois. Am I breaking again? Can you hear me? Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah, that's better. We're good now. We're up on top of the hill.
No, you were breaking a little bit there.
Yeah, we just went by Luke's now.
Yeah, that's what happened when you're on a cell phone going on the highway. No, so I told Jacques Pertois that after I did that, I said, he told me a couple of days ago he'll ask his boss about this issue. Then I said, I asked, the Premier said he'll do a follow-up. How come the media's not covering this?
You mean the provincial election, the seniors?
Yeah.
Election? Yeah. Well, good question.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't get it. I mean, seniors being denied the right to vote. I mean, and they're the only one that votes, really.
Well, they vote most frequently, that's for sure.
Yeah.
More seniors vote than anybody else, normally. But when it's so difficult to vote this time, particularly for seniors, residents in the nursing homes, but not only that, lots of people are still nervous about being around other people.
Corona.
Like seniors, because of Corona. And so they're not going to want to go out on the polls on voting day when there's going to be a bunch of people around. I've been encouraging people to go vote at the returning office. There's only 2 people allowed in there at a time, so it feels a bit safer. And at Fredericton, it's easy to find. It's just across from Starbucks in King's Place.
I went to vote at King's Place. I voted for you, by the way.
Thank you.
Even though I had issues, but that's okay. I'll focus, Charles. Anyway.
I love your dog, Charles.
Yeah. He is a good dog. He's gonna run against that idiot mayor next election. Okay, don't answer that. So you turn around. They never asked me for ID. I had my mask on. What's your name? Then they said, okay. They check on the computer, the address, blah 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 blah. And next thing you know, I voted and I was out of there in about 5 minutes. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse for people not to vote.
No. As long as you're mobile, you can get there and you get in, then you can easily vote.
How's le Parti Vert up north?
Excellent.
C'est bon?
Oui, excellent.
Excellent.
J'ai passé 2 jours avec notre candidat Chanterio dans la circonscription de l'Ouest.
Chanterio, oui.
Chanterio, à Brunswick, à Balmoral, à Brunswick. Excellent. Et oui, j'ai passé avec Marie Larivière, notre candidat dans la circonscription de l'Est-Chaleur.
That's all right. You're much better than Blaine Hayes, but you're breaking. So the French, I'm really trying to understand. I'm not insulting you there, but yeah.
Right.
So I get the message, and I hope the Acadians, les Acadiens, that I went. It's funny. I went up north. I did against Isabelle Thériault. I did a video, and it got 10,000 views.
Wow.
But some people were saying, "Who the hell is that?" And I was in Caracat, and I was doing a video and telling people to support Le Parti Vert. And because now they're going to really see the real victors, and they're not going to vote for the People Alliance, not the Acadians.
No.
And they must look at the Green Party.
Yeah. Well, it's happening. I can feel it in Campanet today. I felt it in the rest of the Chaleur on Tuesday. People are traditionally would have voted Liberal in the Acadian ridings, largely francophone ridings. They're switching to Green.
Okay, you're breaking again. 12 minutes. I wonder how many people are still watching this.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you on the street.
Okay, Charles. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
120.
Twozy. How can you turn against a guy like that? And I had him known him for about, 12 years, 13 years. He had many instances to lose his temper on me, and he never did. Just like Chris Austin, same thing. But Chris Austin used to be a former pastor, so that's a different story. Nah, they're both, they're good people. So, again, election in New Brunswick. I hope the media covers election New Brunswick questions, because I know we're going to keep on going. Even though when the election's over, they need an inquiry on election New Brunswick. Like, okay, Durant, why did that happen? And then why are they denying all citizens to vote? Why? And why are they silent? I mean, you got a communication person like Paul Harpel, but you email him and there's nothing. So the citizens are not allowed to question election in New Brunswick, and we have a problem. And what's her name? I got to find out more about who's in charge, the new chief officer. I think we might be dealing with a snob here. Okay, stay tuned.